Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through the top trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Today, we're talking all about a huge fashion event that took place this week, where Coldplay's Chris Martin and Giorgio Armani were at the fashion event of the year.
Oh, it was a star-studded event, and apart from that, we'll be talking about top fun things lined up for you this festive weekend.
Kim Kardashian reshared a Dubai blogger's pics of the Fendi x Skims collab. So many fashion stories this week.
And Abu Dhabi Showdown Week is back with big names.
We're also going to be talking about a showroom on Sheikh Zayed Road that's supporting breast cancer awareness. But please stay tuned, because later in the show, we have a 15-year-old UAE pageant queen who already has a lot of sashes under her belt. I've never met a 15-year-old who was so well presented and spoke so well. Really, really incredible. But as always, we have all of your comments open. We're looking at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We love to know where you're watching from. Are you feeling good this Thursday morning? What are your plans for the weekend?
It's the weekend. It's like this feeling never gets old. But speaking of 15-year-olds, I feel like they're just like kids these days are growing up so much faster than when we were kids.
Oh, so true.
Right?
When you look at Instagram and people's photos and stuff.
Yeah, I see 16-year-olds and like at first I'm like, okay, they must be like 18, 20, and then they say they're 16 and I get the shock of my life. Like they look older than me.
I think it's just a social media thing. I think every single thing that we talk about recently, I'm like, oh, that's because of social media. Because you learn all these makeup looks. But let's jump into our top story. We're talking about Coldplay's Chris Martin and Giorgio Armani at Dubai's fashion event of the year. Hello, Fancy. The fashion event of the year took place at the Armani Hotel this week, and it was attended by the who's who and hosted by legendary fashion icon himself, Giorgio Armani. Coldplay's Chris Martin provided the tunes, and I think most people's reaction to this was, how did we not know Chris Martin was in town? Such a legend. Even as I was writing this, I was thinking of you are. That's one of his, right?
Yeah.
To be sure. But it doesn't stop there. The star-studded event included some serious superstars. Sharon Stone is in town, Clive Owen, model Taylor Hill, and Italy's 100-meter Olympic gold medalist Marcel Jacobs. They're all here.
And earlier this week, Giorgio Armani was granted the Golden Visa by His Excellency Major General Mohammed Ahmed Al-Mari, Directorate of Residency and Foreign Affairs, in a ceremony held at the Al Jafliya, the General Directorate of Residency and Foreigners Affairs. Now, as we know, the Golden Visa was instituted by the UAE government in 2019 and grants a 10-year residency in recognition of a special contribution to the country, and the honor is granted to the investors and entrepreneurs as well as special talents in a variety of fields, from science to entertainment, sports, academia, and philanthropy.
So we are waiting for ours.
For sure.
But yes, he did get the Golden Visa. He was celebrating 10 years of the Armani Hotel, which, as you may or may not know, it's at the bottom of the Burj Khalifa. So if you're staying in the Armani, your address is Burj Khalifa, which is pretty fancy. And they had the show right beneath it, right beside the fountain. So super, super stunning. They had 90 models flew in from Milan. All of these superstars were there. 110 looks from their spring summer collection 2022, but it was just like, I looked at it and I was like, is that New York, is that Milan? Because it was amazing, and their makeup looks were phenomenal. Yeah, it's just like, we're just seeing so many big parties like this.
It honestly did not look like Dubai, and I remember you seeing it yesterday and you were freaking out that Chris Martin is here and performing, and you were like, how do I get in?
Yeah, I know, and then I realized it already happened. I was like, oh, okay.
Never mind.
How do I get in? I'm gonna make a fake media badge. This is me. You invited me. They're like, no.
I just went out to get a drink. Like, I'm just going back with my drink.
You just have to. Thing is, though, I wonder. Yeah, you'd wonder what security is like at these events. You dress up, but imagine dressing up and then telling you, no, it's not your night, not tonight, love. Off you go.
But you know what? I want to ask you a controversial question, because Coldplay. I remember when they had their concert in Dubai, there was this whole thing going on, like, just conversation around, is Coldplay getting too monotonous with their tunes? And I mean, as much as their songs are like amazing, do you think that's true?
No, I think so. I'm not a massively musical person.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bands that I like, and sometimes I know songs that I like, I don't even know who sings them. I don't know the band's name. But sometimes when you know let's say like a genre or a particular niche is so in tune with that band, it's nearly quite cool. And I do think Coldplay have evolved. Like if you go back, they're a little bit more, correct me if I'm wrong because this is just my humble opinion, but they're a little bit more dancing than they used to be. They've definitely evolved slowly, and just because they don't like switch and like, you know, jump into R&B because people are listening to R&B, like that's not a problem. I think because they've actually kept to what they're super duper talented at. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and they're trying out new collabs with DJs and all those things. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it works for them. I don't know. I like their music, and even if it does get monotonous, like what?
Because monotonous, you're saying even if it does get monotonous,
as if it's not already.
No, as in like because I think because monotonous sounds even if it does get boring. That's what like is insane.
No, as in. Samey. So that was the whole gist of it. Like it is like just the tunes are very similar. Like if you see Yellow, and then if you see the song, I forgot the name of it. Like Science something, Science.
It's just called Science.
Science.
Oh, yeah. I think you're close.
Yeah, so it's like both of them have very similar tunes. But anyway, moving on.
Jumping into our next story, it's a festive weekend. It's also a spooky weekend.
Spooky weekend. Yes, so many Halloween things happening all over the town. Now, the top fun things lined up for you this festive weekend. Now, starting with Jubin Nautiyal's concert at the Coca-Cola Arena on Friday, October 29th, which is tomorrow.
Super duper exciting. Also, a Halloween special costume race hosted by Race ME this Saturday. That's all going down at Dubai Festival City.
And Wafi City Halloween Experiment at Wonder Lab October 29th and 30th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and costumes are more than welcome, and there will be a prize for the best dressed.
I think it's just worthy of popping on a costume this weekend. We keep talking about it. McGettigans are also throwing brunches and parties all across their events, so get onto them if you're looking for a Irish pub celebration for Halloween.
Oh, and La Carnita is also having a Halloween party, and you don't want to miss this one out at the Intercontinental Dubai Marina.
However, if you're looking to go further afield, if your parents looking to take the kids away for the weekend, head up to Hilton Ras Al Khaimah Beach Resort. They're in for a treat as the popular family resort introduces a gourmet kids menu, and also I know that they have spooky celebrations going on, as well as that gourmet kids menu, which you can check out on their socials. But dress up, wear your costumes. Apparently, I was going to get the Squid Games costume, and apparently Sally said that that's not a cool one to get because everyone's going to do it.
What?
She
the
said,
Squid Games? Oh, yeah.
Sally's very trendy, though. So she was like, no, everyone's going to do it. You have to get something else.
So are you getting something else?
Well, I think Squid Games was sold out, so I have to.
Are you getting something other than the costume we got?
No.
No? Okay.
Although, I did buy my dog a costume.
Oh! What is it?
Well, I just was thinking, I was like, babies and dogs dress up for Halloween. We were talking about it. I was like, well, we were talking about babies. My baby, it's the cutest thing. So,
oh my God. Yeah. What is he dressing up? What is she dressing up as?
Sorry, I became that person. But once you have this baby in your life, she's wearing something that she'll immediately chew off. But it's a big knife that you just put on her back. So it looks like she's been knifed into. Or maybe it's on her head. There's a couple of options. So like you just like sit it there and there's blood on it, so she'll be walking around like trying to eat it. Do you have any other costumes?
For my dogs, yeah, like really not such gruesome ones. Just cannot see my doggos dressed up like being beaten up and sliced in half. No.
Halloween.
I know, but still. No, it's like what if you manifest that, you know?
Okay, so if that's what Simran thinks, we're going to also manifest what we're dressing up as on Sunday, which is still a secret.
A secret, yes.
Big secret. Stay tuned for that reveal.
I'm manifesting that for my next birth. Anyway, but weekend things, there's a TYB Transformation Challenge. That is Yasser Khan's free community event, and Yasser Khan is the trainer behind Khalid Al-Mahari's transformation, Nikki Fulvani, and so many other Dubai-based influencers.
Yeah, and it's getting people into tip-top shape, and he really kind of does it to make sure that he's working with people who are really, really committed to it. So if you're interested in a transformation journey, head down to Yasser Khan's event. Also, obviously, Abu Dhabi Showdown Week is going down in Abu Dhabi, along with FIBA is happening down in Abu Dhabi as well. So much down in the capital, big sporting events. There's so much going on. It's impossible to keep up. It really is. What are you guys doing? Are you dressing up? Staying at home, trick-or-treating?
I'm staying at home. I'm just gonna call this one a chill weekend.
I thought you had tickets to Juba Notio.
But did you forget what I have to do tomorrow instead?
Can you not do both?
I'm gonna try doing both, yes. Now that you say it. But I feel like I'm gonna be like maxed out and just go home and pass out.
It's a work event tomorrow afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Really excited about that one. Okay, let's jump into our next story. So Kim Kardashian now has a connection to Dubai. Again, she reshared a Dubai blogger's pics of the Fendi Skims collaboration. So big news of fashion this week. After a much talked about Fendi collaboration with Versace, Fendi is now moving on and collaborating with Kim Kardashian's solution wear brand called Skims. And while most of us mere mortals can't buy the collection on November 9th, influencer bloggers around the world, they got a first look. So, of course, especially in the UAE, we've lots of cool influencers. Zainab Al-Helwa, who's a friend of Lovin's, and also who we recently had on the show talking about her own collection, Reborn. She shared some photos of herself wearing the new collaboration, and then she woke up the next morning to see that Kim Kardashian herself had shared the posts.
What a flex. What a flex. It's Zainab. I don't know Zainab. It's Fashion Pirate, right?
Yeah, I think she switched her name to Zainab Al-Helwa.
Oh, no more Fashion Pirate?
No.
Oh.
But like same account, same content.
Same person.
People like evolve, I think, with that Instagram. It's like, you know, when you started your Hotmail years ago, luckily mine was fitzgeraldcasey@hotmail.com, but usually it's like, you know, green-headed. What was yours?
Don't want to say it. Just don't want. But yeah, people
evolve, exactly.
Yes.
So you go from one and then you go to another. So and I think that definitely happens with Instagram accounts. You see names changing.
Sparkly princess.
Oh, that's what it was.
No, I'm just saying like those are the types of accounts.
Exactly.
But yeah, Kim K has one of the biggest accounts on the gram with 260 million followers. So when you get a reshare, it's quite a big deal. The collaboration dropped this week, and it's a mix of everything from tops and mini dresses to tights and puffers of the conception. Now, Kardashian shared the WWD. Both Fendi and Skims have a cultural power very different from each other, but equally as strong. We share a desire to push boundaries, think differently, and challenge convention, which is why we found so much common ground and collaborating on this collection together.
I think it's quite a cool collaboration. I wonder about the cost, but like I think it's quite cool because obviously Skims itself is very muted colors. Like, by the way, have you tried Skims?
I've
first
never.
of all? Because I'd be very into it. I like it's solution wear. So for those of you who don't know, it like for women, it pulls you in. And what she did was she answered a real need, which was, for example, she kind of like made bodycon dresses. Well, she like made them to her body, especially with slits. And then she couldn't find shapewear for that. So it's Kim Kardashian. She just made it herself. And apparently it's quite good quality ones. Like I've definitely worn shapewear when I'm plenty of times when you're wearing dresses.
Of course.
But I haven't tried the Skims. I'd be very interested to. But now she's like jumped into like more athleisure wear, and now it's collab with Fendi. So like it's basically all the Skin stuff, but with Fendi logos. Interesting about these new collaborations that are happening.
It is, and she's so business minded. Like it's. You know, she has like a vision of where she's taking it, and like it's everything, you know, like it doesn't stop at makeup, then she's trying apparel, and then, you know, like all sorts of avenues. So it's very interesting. Like, where do you think it's going to go next?
For Kim?
Yeah.
Not a notion.
Not a notion.
I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
Like it could, like, they have probably been involved with, like, they're product merchandise machines.
Yeah.
So they kind of stay in that zone. I can't imagine, well, I was going to say, I can't imagine seeing a Kim Kardashian fashion event, but who knows? Like, but they're very much in product-based people, and they merchandise, and they do really, really well at that. So who knows?
But Kim in specific.
And they have apps, they have games.
Oh, yes. I think that's
selfie lights.
That's done.
And did you know that Kim Kardashian they actually resell all of their clothes for like, and it's not cheap. So like, have you ever got onto it? So Kim Kardashian's like, I'm selling like the latest drop for my wardrobe, because obviously they have the most insane wardrobes we'll ever imagine.
And they don't repeat clothes.
And they don't repeat clothes, and they have a lot of stuff that they don't wear, and they sell it, and it's always quite expensive. I'm like, but yeah.
I would buy it. If I had that money, I would buy it from there than any other secondhand store. I would want a Kardashian secondhand anything. Yes, I'm one of those. But moving on.
Moving on, same. Showroom on Stateside is showing huge support. Excuse me, just let me take a quick look. I know it's early in the morning, but I just wanted to check where we are. Okay, a showroom in Stateside is showing huge support for breast cancer awareness. This month is known for cancer awareness, as we know, and recognizing those who have been and are affected by breast cancer, and also educating others. So this is very cool. I hope you've seen it. So basically Infinity want to spread the word and have gone all out. So AAC Infinity have taken it to a whole new level with the largest banner in the showroom on Shakeside Road to support women during this month. Now the message behind it revolves around uplifting those affected and educating others on our constant fight. They're reminding us to schedule our annual mammogram today, which actually there's a lot of places around Dubai who are doing free checks at the moment, which I think is worth being aware of, and which could save your life and could save the lives of people around you. So much talk, of course, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there's a story that we shared yesterday of a woman who we're hopefully going to have her on the show, Sian Knows Breast on Instagram. And I think it's always a constant reminder that we need to have, and I think it's so great that Infinity is sharing this. It's a constant reminder to us about the awareness that we need to have around breast cancer, and also the information that goes through it. But like, you know, first of all, do we examine ourselves? Yes, no. And is that enough? Are you actually going to get your screening check? And now, as I have this conversation, I'm like, do I examine myself? It's an awkward conversation, but yes. But am I doing it properly? Probably not. So should I go and get some of the free screenings around the UAE? Yes. So thank you, Infinity, for bringing that to my attention.
For sure. And I was at an event last year, and they were just like, with the pandemic looming in, people are more like, you know, they've just given a backseat to all other health complications, and they've just focused on COVID-19 and the pandemic and all of that. So, I mean, now with us getting in control of the pandemic, like, do focus on yourself. Make sure you're at your healthiest form and get yourself checked. It's so important for
100%.
women. But moving on, now Abu Dhabi Showdown Week is back with big names. Now we're going to give you the lowdown on that. Now we've reached the end of Abu Dhabi Showdown Week, and it ain't over yet, because Balkovics and Texeria is happening on October 30th, which is this weekend, and this is the last chance for you to get your hands on some tickets. Now, giving you some more lowdown, this is the first time Abu Dhabi Showdown Week is back since 2019, and it's bigger than it's ever been before, with loads to do, including citywide activities from fan events, fitness activations, and much more ahead of the 2 championship finals at the UFC 267. And a sign that this event is going to be wild is one, how fast the tickets have already sold out. And yeah, it's going to be more produced than ever before, and these tickets are also about to sell out. So if you're a fan of UFC fighting, then this is your last shot at getting your hands on these tickets, which you can get through ticketmaster.ae and itihadarena.ae as well.
It's going to be madness. We know how much the city loves UFC, the country loves UFC. We actually did a little bit of a UFC fight in the office yesterday to get in the mood. I don't know if you saw it. We had Richie, we had Shahir, we had Chai as ref. It took about 60 seconds, and Richie took it home. Not a bother to him. Woo! Easy. Woo!
What was the challenge?
The UFC, we had a little UFC fight. No touching, because we leave that to the professionals, don't you worry. Safety first.
But how did they fight without touching, with words?
No, it's like Taekwondo style, UFC, pulling them to the ground, no holes barred, but no touching.
Oh.
I just farted.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. It was nice that was. But UFC, it's all going down. UFC 267. Every single time this goes down, all we see are the fan videos going crazy. So if you actually want the opportunity to see this in real life, and you know the world is going to be watching, and if you're a UFC fan, get down there. And is it Thursday? I think so. We're coming.
Finally, yes.
We're coming to the end of our week, and we're super excited. I hope you are too. Let us know what you're after the weekend. Send us your photos of Halloween costumes. But please stay tuned, because right after the break, we are joined by Mia Ross. She's a 15-year-old pageant queen here in the UAE. She came into the studio last week, and she just had about 10 sashes in front of her from pageants that she has done. She's putting her heart and soul into pageanting. It's truly incredible. So she's with us right after this. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. We are now joined by a queen of pageants. She was the first ever female to represent the UAE in the pageant world and have consecutive wins, as you can see by the sashes in front of me. She's also winner of Miss Teen Planet. Maya Ross, welcome to the studio.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
With a big story to tell. And interesting because we have a lot of kind of Miss Universe pageanting conversations going on at the moment. But first of all, what age are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your journey in pageanting so far.
Sure. So my name is Mia Ross. I'm 15 years old. I'm Russian and Spanish, born in Dubai. My mom lives here for over 30 years already. And I started my pageant when I was 10 years old. We've heard about it through our friends because I finished a 3 years Academy of Modeling school.
At 10 years old, you finished 3 years? Amazing.
Yes. And we decided to join. I didn't expect, obviously, winning because of my age. I was one of the most youngest participants. And it was my first pageant. And I decided to represent UAE because it's my home country and it's my motherland. So the moment when they say I'm getting Young Miss Universe title and also Miss Model, at the same time, it was 2018.
Wow. So you were 11.
10 and a half.
10 and a half. What an incredible title to represent the UAE at that age. And so this is quite new to me. I won't lie to you. How big is the pageant scene? So when you broke into it, was there a lot of people your age doing the same thing?
Not my age. It mostly was 14, 15, 16, 17, and many other ages. But as I told you, I was the youngest one to represent. And
what was 3 years model boot camp like for you?
Modeling.
You said a 3 years.
Yes, I finished it. It was a modeling course, so I did it for 3 years. They taught us how to walk properly and everything that basics models should know.
Okay.
And because of them, I actually knew about this contest. And when I actually entered the pageantry industry, I started liking it.
And what's kind of required for you, let's say, in a regular competition? Is there, let's say, a walking segment, or is it chatting, or what? Or is it
Honestly,
like, is it fashion, or what? Tell us about a regular show.
Honestly, whenever I join the pageantry, I'm not worried about my outfits or anything. I've got an amazing charisma. That's why I'm Queen of Charisma 2020. And I always catch people with my personality mostly. Because I am really different from other contestants. They always try to be the best and show their dresses, but I show my personality.
Interesting. And you have lots of sashes in front of you. Let's go through them. Let's learn about them. Let's introduce all of us to this world, which is really new to us all, I think.
So here we have Miss Teen Planet 2021.
Little Miss and very cute.
The Little Miss and Mr. Planet. So I won Miss Teen Planet, the winner. That was 2021. It was during the pandemic.
So would this have been online then?
No.
Okay.
It was in a hotel with all the social distancing and masks. So many contestants came from other countries.
Really?
Yes, I think there were over 45 participants. So then I have my second, which is 2020, Little Queen of Globe.
Amazing.
Actually, the owner of the contest is Dr. Tracy Campbell. She's an official partner of Donald Trump. And Queen of Globe is the first ever prestigious contest and pageant after Miss Universe.
And Donald Trump is obviously connected to Miss Universe, so that's where the connection lies. Wow.
So Little Queen of Globe, and at the same time I got the best national costume.
Interesting. So national costume represented the UAE. What was the costume?
Honestly, most of the people, whenever they think I'm representing UAE, they mostly see me wearing an abaya. But I wear an amazing dress from a very famous designer here in UAE, Mon Al Mansouri. It was dark blue color with feathers and diamonds.
Amazing. I hope we can get a photo, Mom, of that beside the show when we go live.
Definitely.
Sounds stunning.
And here it is also 2020. I didn't bring other sashes because that would still be a lot. So here's Miss Multinational.
Wow.
And at the same time, I got Best in Ball Dress and Queen of Charisma 2020.
Amazing.
Here it is one of my first one. It's quite hard. It's quite dirty. It's Miss Model. It's since 2018.
Okay. And of all of these that we're seeing, which is the most special to you? Which means the most?
It's quite hard because on every contest I gave everything, a part of my soul, and I cannot choose. Every contest for me is special and every sash for me is special.
What does preparation look like for you for all of these? This can't be easy. This takes some time. So how much of your time is dedicated to the pageanting world?
Honestly, it's not only time, and it's a huge investment. It's a huge investment. The first ever contest I won, which is not I won, I joined in Young Miss Universe. We invested about €50,000. Other participants were supported by their government. And because of UE, that time they weren't into beauty pageants. I'm really glad that today we're having Miss Universe UAE, as I was invited, but because of my age.
Shout out Josh, we love you.
Josh, I love you.
So you would 100% be involved in that,
yes,
but
definitely.
It's an 18-year-old threshold. And you're,
yes, so he told me after 3 years we'll be glad to see you.
It'll be a shoo-in.
And it's time. We needed to call the best choreographers. We needed to call the best because we also need to show our talents. So because I'm half Spanish, my talent was flamenco. I was dancing flamenco.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And so you're dancing flamenco, and these are, so the challenges would be, let's say, monetary, I guess.
Yes.
For a lot of people jumping into the pageant world, it could be quite nerve-wracking, but it seems like that doesn't affect you.
Yes.
Do you ever get nervous before pageants?
I get nervous, but I get support from my family, and it's always also depends on the competitors because there are always good and bad competitors. I always had many issues when the family, the mothers of the participants were actually trying the best to ruin my performance.
I can't even imagine what that was like.
So before my talent show, they purposely went out and put over some slippery things. And because I'm dancing with heels, it's quite hard. I was about to slip, but it didn't look like.
The ruiners!
So
that's awful!
You know, inside the pageantry, they're ripping dresses, they're putting glass into your heels. And
no.
Yes.
Can we just say again, you're 15 years old. That's... And how do you respond to that type of behavior if you know that it's happening?
I don't really mind. It's everybody's opinion. I know I'm best. I know I'm the best. I know I'm good enough. So I don't really care. I don't have time to, you know, concentrate on those stuff.
Speaking of being the best, we have your mama here behind us. Good morning, good afternoon. And one thing that I thought was very special was that you came in and your mom mentioned that you guys had a late night last night because you were up looking after the pups.
Yes.
And then you mentioned that you're also involved in your own rescue organization.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
So I'm the youngest entrepreneur in the Middle East, and I own my organization. It's Animal Rescue Team. So Lovin Dubai. I help and rescue abandoned stray animals. I trip them and then I adopt them to loving families.
We're a rescue family.
So I've been doing it since 2017.
Wow.
6th July it had been open, and we had adopted over thousands of pets already.
Wow. Dare I ask how many doggies you have in your home at the moment?
Well, it's countless, but 25.
Oh my days. Busy house.
25, yes.
busy house. And let's say, for example, going forward, you have all of these sashes under your belt already.
Yes.
Are you happy with the scene here? Do you guys look internationally, abroad for new competitions?
Well, I am getting ready for next year with this Miss Teen Universe. It's associated with Miss Universe.
I believe we had a Miss Teen Universe winner here months and months ago, actually.
Yes. So Josh pushed me into that competition.
Amazing.
So he's like, you definitely should join. So I'm getting prepared. Honestly, many people ask me, why did I start pageantry? Like, I really liked it. It's my hobby, but if I wasn't famous or I didn't have a voice, people wouldn't listen to me because I'm trying my best. I'm a psychologist and I take out teenagers from bad depressions, anxiety, because, you know, these days during pandemic, they were stuck with their phones, and I finally, since 15-year-old, we're allowed to work. I always had talked to the government for them to make it happen. Finally,
so you work one-on-one with kids who have issues?
Yes.
Amazing. So how do you fit it? How do you fit in everything? How do you have the time for?
Well, I've been homeschooling for 5 years already, and I always find time for everything. My schedule is super busy. That's why I'm always late everywhere.
Well, we really appreciate you coming in this morning. Thank you so much for your time. If people would like to know more about you, if they'd like to follow you, how can they do so?
So my Instagram, it's @miaross_official, and I always like to reply back to messages.
And we'll be following your journey into Miss Teen and into Miss Universe for sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.